Heavy rain and high winds wreak havoc on the region after yesterday's tornado watch. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, residents and crews in some areas continue to clean up from yesterday's storm. It blew down trees and flooded some streets in the region. Denise Douglas takes us to West Laurel, where a woman and her daughter were forced from their home after high winds bring a tree down on their house.
The woman who lives in this home is in the hospital being treated for stress, and you'll understand why when you see what happened to the home. A neighbor tells me that the 85-year-old resident and her daughter were headed to the basement for cover when the storm started, and that's when this tree, take a look right there, the root was completely pulled up by the storm and it came crashing down onto the roof of the home. You see what it did? Pretty much gashed a big hole into the roof, and that all started, the rain started coming in and flooded the basement of the home.
But that's not all. Debris from fallen branches is scattered all over the front lawn, and a tarp covers the hole in the roof. Jack and Jean Lawrence, who live across the street, came to see what the storm did.
I was surprised, but you know what? With all these trees, it can happen to any of us. We live right across the street, and look at the trees around our house. And now I'm even more concerned and anxious about storms because of what happened to my friend Zita. She's a very good friend. She's very nice.
Other areas are also cleaning up, though the damage wasn't as bad.
For the most part, it was just large branches. A few trees were down, a lot of debris, such as in the roadways, and there was some minor localized flooding. But other than that, the city of Laurel was unscathed. There were some sporadic power outages here and there.
Despite the mess and the damage that you see here, luckily the woman and her daughter got out safely, and in terms of other locations, no injuries were reported. I'm Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And we checked with Pepco, and a spokesman says that all storm-related outages in Prince George's and D.C. have been fixed. Crews are still working in Montgomery County, where damage is more widespread. Well, as we get older, we rely on others to take care of us. Unfortunately, that dependence can sometimes lead to emotional and physical abuse. Criminals also prey on the elderly, who can be easy targets for financial scams and identity theft. In honor of World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, more than 12 county agencies and community organizations held an event at the mall at Prince George's today. The goal was to educate senior citizens so they can protect themselves.
I've heard stories, and I read things in papers and about people who are not cautious, and they do fall into the trap where they do get abused, and there's all kind of schemes and scams going on, and you have to know them, about them, how to treat them, how to react.
I had a cousin that actually was scammed through the mail, and that was a little scary.
Is that what prompted you to want to learn more?
Oh, definitely. The older you get, you see people not respecting your elders.
It's pretty prevalent. We see it far more than we would like to. We, on a regular basis, have a number of investigations that are going forward. I believe right now we probably have upwards of 50 investigations that are ongoing, and we are continuing to receive referrals from the Department of Social Services as well.
Talk to me about
And the new Senior Victim Witness Coordinator program pairs victims with volunteers who can offer support and accompany them through the legal process. Anyone interested in volunteering can contact Ola Hill in the state's attorney's office. That number is 301-952-5370. 6 Maryland residents are indicted in a mortgage fraud scheme that caused more than $1 million in losses. The scheme involved an agent from the elite real estate group and 3 Prince George's residents. Federal prosecutors say the defendants conspired to obtain more than $3 million in fraudulent loans. The indictments were announced yesterday following the arrest of a Mount Rainier resident, Cosmas Wambora. An early afternoon incident on Metro's Red Line delays and frustrates passengers. Shortly after 12 noon, a train departing the Rhode Island station apparently struck metal service stairs at the end of the platform. Metro officials say this collision caused damage to a signal box and some railing along the side of the track. CTV News spoke with passengers at the nearby Brooklyn station who were anxious about the delays.
You had to wait until another train come, and it was very crowded when it came. So people had to wait until another train come.
It's inconvenient, first of all. People have to go somewhere, and why is there one train working? I just don't understand.
They have been all these track works, and I just see people sitting around not doing nothing. So I'm wondering, when is this track work is going to be over?
And Metro says the incident will cause delays through the rush hour. A moment of silence was observed in Newtown, Connecticut today as the community remembered the victims of Sandy Hook school shootings. 6 months ago today, 20 children and 6 adults were shot and killed at the school. The event was organized by Mayors Against Illegal Guns. The group plans to travel to 25 states in 100 days to rally support for gun control.